Good morning, Babs.
Good
We're with
morning.
CJ here in front of the old Box 63. You know the Firehouse Cafe?
Yeah,
They're
it used to
building it
be.
into a cool new place.
I
And
remember
what's
when
the
it was
word on the
Fitz
street?
Willie's.
What?
Remember it was Fitz Willie's?
It was Fitzwilly's back in the day when you and I went. Then it was Box
Yes.
63. Then in the pandemic, some guy from Hartford came up and he got a plan for a new place. And CJ is making it happen. CJ, good morning and welcome to Love Babs Love Talk.
Good morning. How are you?
So
Good
CJ, what's the
morning.
word on the street?
We're doing FPT. We're doing some fire sprinklers this morning, getting the building under fire protection here.
And so is that your job?
Yes, sir.
So you put in fire sprinklers?
Yes, fire sprinklers.
So you make sure we don't get hurt
Yeah,
if like some flame comes off the
fire
stove.
sprinklers give you time to get out of the building. It's fire suppression.
So what are you doing this morning to put it in? What's involved?
So we're threading some 1-inch sprinkler pipe. We got a pipe threading machine, and we're getting the water drained out of the pipe and putting some new sprinkler heads in.
And how long does it take to do that?
All day. Long job.
And one day you can do it?
Yeah, for here, well, this is a few days here on this job, but for today, we'll be here just for today.
And what are you
So-
doing? How many today?
How many heads are we piping today? 10 sprinkler heads? About 10 sprinkler heads.
This
We're
is our
getting
newest
piped.
edition right here.
Wait.
Hi,
Wait,
Hunter.
my question is this. So were there not sprinklers in there before?
He's saying were there not sprinklers before? Or are you doing
There
a
was
gut rehab?
sprinklers before, but when they renovate the building, they change the wall location, and the sprinkler code has a specific distance. The heads have to be off the wall, and make sure that all the building, the square footage of the building is under fire protection.
So how long you been doing this, CJ?
I've been doing it about 7 years.
7 years. And how'd you get into doing fire suppression?
Just luck of the draw, I guess you could say. I wasn't a bookworm. I was not going to college, so this is where I ended up. So
But did someone teach you? Hey, Michael, did you know
yes, I
someone?
did a 4-year apprenticeship, and got a lot to learn. About 10,000 hours you got to put in before you can get licensed, and then you have a Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection license you have to pass and all that. So
So in other words, if you want to do this,
yup,
you have to say, I'm willing to wait 4 years
yes,
to
paid
have someone
apprenticeship.
teach you. So it's paid apprenticeship.
Yeah, no debt like college nowadays.
So it's like going to college, but you get paid.
Yes, better, I'd like to say.
And where did you get into it? Like, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Colchester, and then the shop I worked at was right in Windsor, in
Mhm.
Windsor Bloomfield area. So
And how did you? Someone say, hey, CJ, there's this really cool thing you could do with your life, putting in fire sprinklers. So how did you get into it?
that was pretty much it. I was doing electrical work on the side, and then wasn't paying very good, to be honest. And then I asked a friend, and he said, hey, my buddy's a plumber. Would you like to be a plumber? I said, not so much, but then I found out what it really was, and it's fire suppression. So that's what got me into it.
Now this is FPT Protection. Where are you guys from?
Cheshire's
Cheshire.
our shop here.
Now this place has a lot of history, as you know. Fitzwillie was like the first Fern bar in the '80s when they got to be like kind of a yuppie city again, and then Box 61 was more of like where the firefighters hang out and the cops and the people around town. What do you know about this one? Anything?
Not too much. It's my first day here, so.
But any secrets in the walls? Like, did you find anything kind of fun? 'Cause it
Not
looks
yet.
cool in
Not
there.
yet. Dave, you've been here for a few days. You find anything?
I haven't found anything yet.
No secrets?
Do you think you'll come back when it's open and get a drink or something?
I might. It's not too far from home, so.
All right. And tell me about fire suppression. What do you have to know to be good at it?
Oh, boy. There's a lot to know. Don't be a hacker.
What does that mean?
That means going beyond the code. There's a specific sprinkler code we have to follow. Make sure that the pipe is put in the right way, and that's pretty much it. You stay within the code, and then you'll be in the clear.
So you spent 4 years training. Now you've done another 7 years. What's a time you'll never forget when you were working on putting in sprinklers?
So I pulled the sprinkler head with the water not being fully drained out of the system.
And what
And these
happened?
sprinkler systems get pressurized from anywhere from 50 psi to 200 psi. So I was actually at Hartford Current in the boiler room, and I pulled the sprinkler head out of the ceiling and had about 5 psi on the gauge. And I met about 500 gallons of water. I could not stop the water from coming out. I was soaked head to toe, and thankfully it was in the boiler room, so there was no water damage.
And when was that?
That was probably my second year as an apprentice, probably about 5
Oh,
years
so you're
ago.
just getting started.
Yeah, I was just getting started.
And at that moment, what did you think? Like, is this water coming forever? I don't know what I'm
thought
going to
I will
do.
never pull a sprinkler head again without having a valve, a shut-off valve on me.
So can you explain a little more to me? So what
The
did you do?
shut-off valve is just in case you pull a live head, you can thread the valve in and shut the water off in a case of emergency.
And a live head means where the water's still
So the
going.
water pressure is still there.
And how do you find out whether it's live before you start?
There's gauges on the system, so you want to check the gauge prior to opening any of the pipe.
And that tells you the PSI.
Exactly. And sometimes the gauges get a little beat up. So the one that I saw was reading no pressure, but it still had pressure on the system.
Oh, so it was a faulty gauge.
Yes. Yep.
Now you know the Hartford Kerr's not there anymore. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't know that.
They got rid of their whole building. They're just in cyberspace now.
That's good. That's good. That building was long overdue.
But Boss 63 is coming back. What's the place gonna be called again?
I'm not. You know,
The place to be.
The place to be.
place to
And they have
be.
one in Hartford, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you notice about this place or this block? This is your first morning here?
Yes, first morning here. It looks pretty nice upstairs. It looks like it's got a nice decorative tree in there. That's where we're piping our sprinkler heads above. So seems like it'll be a nice hangout spot.
And you said you got all day today doing 10 sprinkler heads, right?
Yup.
What do you got the rest of the week? You still gonna be here?
The rest of the week I'll be in Baltic, starting a new job. There's a warehouse over there, and we'll be starting a brand new sprinkler job. Pipe deliveries coming tomorrow morning.
What's Baltic?
Baltic, Connecticut. It's right by Norwich.
Baltic?
Yep, Baltic.
I've been here 40-some years and never heard of Baltic.
I've
Really?
never heard
They're
of Baltic.
You've heard of Baltic, Babs?
No. I've never
It's a nice
heard of
little small-
Baltic.
It's a very small little town, right
Well-
north of Norwich.
Well, I
So-
want to thank you for keeping us safe because we love our places like this in New Haven. Babs, I'm sure Babs will be hitting this place, the place to be when it opens. Babs, do you have any questions for CJ?
No, I'm excited. I learned something new about fire suppression. I had no idea of that concept. So thanks.
Any parting words about, because what I think you do is important, right? So you feel like you're doing something
Yes.
you didn't know what you were going to do with your life when you were floundering.
Definitely not.
Now, it was 7 years ago when you started the
Yes.
apprenticeship. You did 4.
Did 4, and now I've been licensed for about 3 years. Yep.
And any parting words for you want the public to know, like being careful of fire suppression or the work you do and how you make sure we can go fun and have a drink at night, go to our job at the Hartford Kern?
Yeah, if there's a fire suppression system, you'll be safe. And if you need the right system installed, call fire protection team.
All right, CJ, what's your last name?
Timon.
T-Y-M-A-N?
Timon. Yep.
I want to thank you so much for joining us on Love Babs, Love Talk, WNHH-FM. Back to you, Babs. This is Paul on Elm Street.
Thank you. Enjoy your day, CJ.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Paul Bass.
Thank you.
All right, back to work.
Ooh, I learned something new today.